Yo, what is good, Jets Nation? Welcome back to another live stream. We got the boys back in town. We got Ali, Jack, and Zach Wilson all here to talk about the New York Jets preseason. We're going to talk about Zach Wilson. We're going to talk about the injury news. Basically, everything surrounding the New York Jets you will find here on a Jets media stream. You guys already know what's good. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Welcome in. It's always a great time to go live every single Monday. We're going to try to do this every single week throughout the entire season. So make sure you guys stay tuned for a Monday live show on Jets Media every single week. If you're not subscribed, make sure you do so. So we're going to go around the table. Ali, how you going? How you doing today, brother?
I'm good, man. I'm almost done with moving, so I'm happy about that. But yeah, I mean, there's a lot of positive about this team and there's a lot of negative. So let's get into it.
Let's get into it indeed, man. Jack, how you doing today, bro?
I'm good. I'm doing very well. You guys can hear me, right?
We can hear you beautifully.
All right, sounds good. Yeah, I'm doing very well. I'm ready to get it going.
For sure, man. Shout out to everybody in the chat. AB, what's good? The Jets Report. Shout out to you, brother. Remember you from the Jets training camp. Everyone go subscribe to the Jets Report. He's got a YouTube channel. We got Jets. We got Louis. We got Take Flight Hunter. Tom. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Hope you guys are having a fantastic day as usual. And shout out to everybody tuning in here on Twitter. We got around 10 people tuning in on Twitter. Welcome in. So we're going to start off with our well, actually, the Jets just made a roster move. They actually cut Corey Ballantyne, which is pretty interesting because he actually had a 73-yard kick return. They're going to have to shrink the roster a little bit as they do in between every single preseason game. We unfortunately placed Carl Lawson on the IR. We all knew that was going to happen eventually. So let's start off with the injury news so we can get all the negatives out of the way, and then we'll get into the positive stuff. So we found out today that Jared Davis, the linebacker, is indeed going to be sidelined until the bye week, which is week 6. So Jared Davis will be missing a good portion of the season, but the positive side of it is we're going to see Jamian Sherwood start in his place. So the starting linebackers are going to be CJ Mosley, Hamza Nasruddin, and Jamian Sherwood. So the veteran former Pro Bowler in the middle alongside the two rookies. Definitely unfortunate because I feel like Jared Davis was going to be a guy that a lot of Jets fans were excited for to play alongside CJ. He's a pass rushing linebacker. We're definitely going to miss him. But the good news is he's not out for the entire season. It's only, for the first 6 weeks. It's way better than what happened to Carl Lawson, right? And then we all know what happened with Carl Lawson. We have not been able to talk about it together. But Carl Lawson out for the season with a ruptured Achilles. So, Ali, if you want to talk about the Jared Davis news and then over Carl Lawson a little bit as well.
Yeah, first, Jared Davis, man, that's a huge loss because I feel like he was a good fit in this defense. And I think he was going to have a, revival here in New York. But obviously the injury concern was a thing for him. Same thing with Carl Lawson. So it sucks that he's going to be out there, but I think the Jets have a lot of depth. And I think Salah is not afraid to put these rookies out there. He's excited to put the rookies out there to see what they got when Gerard Davis is out. So for that, I'm not too worried about it. Obviously, it sucks having your starters out. But, I think it's a next man up mentality for the Jets right now in a couple positions on defense. So I think with Gerard Davis, I think we'll find a way. He'll be back, I believe, week 6, week 7. That's the timetable for him. So hopefully we'll get him back and hopefully be still in the season for the playoffs or whatever it is, still playing meaningful football. And then Carl Lawson was a huge loss. It's still devastating till this day. It just happened a few days ago, but it feels like weeks have gone by where we just haven't had Carl Lawson on the field, and it sucks because we were all like, we finally have our pass rusher. We finally have a pass rusher that's consistent. He's going to go for 12 sacks, 14 sacks. Like, he's going to go off for the Jets this season. And then he gets injured. And, this joint practice, I had a bad feeling, honestly, from the get-go, that someone's going to get hurt. Someone's not going to play the season. And it happened to the Jets. But I feel like it's a thing for the Jets that they always lose a defensive player every single preseason, every single training camp. And it sucks to see him go. But, next year he'll hopefully be back and, thriving. So, it's the next man up mentality. And I think they trust this defensive line. I trust Roberts a lot because of the coaching staff, and I think they'll figure out a way. But they kind of looked messy this past preseason, so they got a lot of work to do.
Yes, indeed. Shout out to my guy, Wardy NYM. I know that you're a diehard Jets fan. It's great to see you in here tuning into some Jets content. Shout out to Wardy. If you guys are a Mets fan, make sure you check out Wardy NYM. He is the best Mets YouTuber out there, so make sure you guys check him out. Jack, what's your thoughts of the Jared Davis injury? And you can give your thoughts about Carl Lawson going down as well.
Yeah, I mean, there's not really many thoughts to give besides just it sucks, man. It's something you have to deal with every year. It sucks that it has to be two guys that are new to the organization this season, two guys that were going to be stepping into prominent roles on the defense, especially Carl Lawson, because we still have C.J. Mosley, but Carl Lawson was by far our best edge presence. Our best guy that was going to be out there as a true edge rusher is now sidelined all year. So that's a massive, massive loss, man. It definitely does make me a little nervous. I mean, we have a lot of depth on the defensive line, but our depth on the defensive line is more on the interior and, not so much out on the edge. So it's definitely, a horrible, horrible situation, man. It's the things you dread every year as a football fan is injuries. But unfortunately, it's just a part of the game, man, and there's nothing you can do about it. So good teams learn to work around it, and that's what we're going to have to do, man. So hopefully, this is a good test for Robert Saleh already. Obviously, it's a shame that it has to come before we even play a real meaningful game of football. So it just sucks, man. But I think, it's not the end of the world. Like I said, we do have some pretty solid depth on that defensive line. I think John Franklin Myers will hopefully step up and have that year that we all thought we were going to see from him before we signed a big free agent edge rusher. So it's definitely not the end of the world, but it sucks, man. Jared Davis as well, man. He was going to play a big role, and the fact of the matter is that we're pretty thin at linebacker overall. I mean, we'll see what we have out of. I know we're all obviously very hopeful for Nasruddin and Sherwood, but until these guys prove their worth, C.J. Mosley is pretty much the only name we got left standing in that linebacker room that's worth anything at the moment. So we got to keep C.J. healthy, man. We got to keep C.J. chance. That's when the defense, I think, is going to run into a bit of a problem. So we just got to keep these guys healthy until the season starts. But yeah, it is what it is, man. It's nothing that anybody can control. So it just sucks, and it's something you got to learn to work around. So we'll do that.
Yeah, man. Injuries are definitely the worst part of the game, and Jets fans are used to it. Shout out to John. What's good, bro? Love to have you back in the stream. And shout out to everybody in the chat. Make sure you guys smash that thumbs up button on your way into the stream, whether you're watching this on Twitter or indeed YouTube. I greatly appreciate it. And shout out to Finn Saturday. Great to see you in the chat as well. So now we're going to flip away from the negative energy, guys. We're going to go into the positives. And I think that Jets fans should be very excited from what we've seen so far from our rookie quarterback in Zach Wilson. Granted, it is the preseason. You cannot read too much into it, but the good sign is Zach Wilson is dissecting the defenses in preseason. He's looked nothing else but spectacular, efficient, timing, poised, accuracy, throwing the run, zero turnover worthy plays. The offense looks fluid. The offensive line looks great. Zach Wilson has not been touched once. He's not been sacked once. The run game has been looking great with Tevin Coleman and Ty Johnson and even Mike Carter with the second team and Michael Pirine at times. Mekhi Becton had a pancake. Tyler Kroft got in the end zone twice. Corey Davis looks like a wide receiver one. The offense is looking good, and the Jets are coming off the most historical, worst offensive season I think we've ever seen. And I think Jets fans are, a little excited. And excuse Jets fans, excuse me for being a little, excited about preseason, because Jets fans haven't looked at a competent offense like this in a while. So if anybody's telling you that you're overreacting, don't listen to them. We're allowed to feel this positive energy. But at the same time, you have to ground yourself and understand the circumstances where we are going up against the second team. But at the same time, if you tell Robert Saleh, I don't know if you guys watch his press conferences, but if you tell Robert Saleh, like, hey, Zach Wilson looks good, but it's going up against the second team, Saleh's like, hey, you go up to that person that Zach's going up against and tell him he's not a professional football player. He's still he's still lining up against professional football players in the NFL. He doesn't care if it's his first or second team. It's a great sign that Zach Wilson is looking this good. So before I get deeper into Zach Wilson, Ali, what is your first impressions of Zach Wilson in his first 2 preseason starts?
So far, so good for Zach Wilson. I mean, you can't ask for more than what he's produced on that field. He's no matter what competition's out there, he's poised in the pocket. He stands still. He delivers. He looks at all his reads. If it's nothing not there, he knows where his dump offs are. You know where his safety blanket is. Play action, he works to perfection. And I got to give credit to LaFleur because he's schemed the plays and everything in a way where Zach Wilson can get comfortable for the season. Right now, they're not going to display a lot right now in preseason. It's preseason. But what we've seen is him moving the ball constantly. The Jets are getting to the red zone. Last year, we did not get into the red zone at all. We didn't get to the other side of the field last year. So to see them move the ball, use the run game in advantage, get Zach Wilson just going a little bit rather than him throwing like 50 passes a game, they're trying to ease him in a little bit with the running game and then him tossing the ball because we know Zach Wilson can ball out. We know his arm strength. We know how he can progress around the field. So I think he's shown what we saw in BYU, why people are so excited. Why was he compared to Rodgers? Why was he compared to Mahomes? Because he's showing flashes of that. He's not that player yet, but he is progressing in that way. And you see flashes of that player in Zach Wilson in the last 2 preseason games. So I think they're doing a great job. That connection with Corey Davis, in the green and white scrimmage when I went to that, they were forcing it to Corey Davis a lot. And they were just not connecting at all. And then I think they kept feeding it every week. And now they're connecting. And they have that bond now that Corey Davis will be the number 1 wide receiver for Zach Wilson, and it looks pretty damn good because he had 70 yards of the 130 yards or whatever that Zach Wilson threw last game. So I like what they're doing with Zach Wilson. They're moving him around. They're letting him stay in the pocket, get used to this offensive line, get used to this pressure that he's going to face in the actual games against these great pass rushers in the NFL. And they're progressing him well. Robert Saleh and LaFleur have done a phenomenal job of what they want to do. And this offense could be really fun to watch.
I agree, man. It's really exciting. I think Jets fans should be pretty excited about what this offense have looked like so far. So, Jack, what's been your first impressions of the rookie quarterback Zach Wilson in preseason?
Yeah, man. I mean, it's still not a huge sample size that we're dealing with. But based on all the things we've seen, he looks good, man. He looks really good. And not only does he look good and he looks poised and he looks confident, but I love what we've seen from the team as a whole as far as game planning for him goes. Feed the run game. Look for Corey Davis, who's your most reliable receiver. Get the tight ends involved. That's all things that has given, the San Francisco 49ers and their offense success over the past, few years. And that's how, that's going to be our winning formula as well. It's going to be the run game. It's going to be the tight ends. It's going to be guys like Corey Davis. And then, hopefully once the season's in full swing, we'll get, Elijah Moore out there and he'll be, fully a part of the offensive rotation. And we'll be able to unleash him on everybody else. But Zach Wilson looks really good, man. He drops back with confidence. He can move around easily in the pocket. I mean, we're all still thinking about that ball he got to Corey Davis far on the right sideline after stepping up, avoiding pressure, rolling out to his right, and while on the move, just throwing a dart to Corey Davis. It was a beautiful play. That's obviously the things we love to see out of our quarterback because that's the improvisational side of Zach's game. That's obviously a designed play for Corey Davis, but Zach using his own legs to get out of trouble and getting enough space to make the throw, making the throw on the run, delivering an accurate ball. That's all up to Zach. So that's really good to see. Like I said, he just looks confident, man. But But like I mentioned earlier, the game plan that we've been putting in place for him is what really gets me excited. It shows that we finally have guys in the building who understand how to handle a rookie quarterback, who understand that not everything has to fall on Zach's shoulders. Obviously, Zach is the quarterback. He's the team leader. He's playing the most important position on the field. But, a quarterback, and especially a rookie quarterback, can't do everything, Not everything has to fall on Zach's shoulders this time around. Like it felt like, it felt like for the last 3 years, Sam Darnold had to make everything happen in order for us to even have a glimmer of hope, right? That just doesn't feel like the case this time around. We have better receivers, better running backs, a better offensive line, more competent coaching that is, calling actual plays and, not just giving it to Frank Gore or throwing an out route or something like that. So it just feels good where we're at now as an offense as a whole. And although it's, a very small sample size, it looks good, man. And I'm excited to see, some real game play out of this team, man, out of this offense. I think that this offense has the ability to surprise a lot of people this year. And as long as we don't start losing people left and right to the injury bug, that seems like it's already starting to take effect here for the Jets. I think our offense is going to be exciting, man. Even if, and God forbid, this is a worst case scenario, but even if, God forbid, we don't see Elijah Moore till week 4 or week 5 of the regular season, where we're at right now as a team, depth-wise, is night and day compared to where we were a year or 2 years ago. We still have Jamison Crowder. We have Keelan Cole. I wouldn't mind Braxton Berrios being in the game if I knew the players we have above him just can't go that day because they're not healthy. I just don't want to see Braxton Berrios out there last year as one of our only receiving options. So where we are on the depth chart compared to last year is night and day. So I still think we're going to be all right, offensively, regardless of injuries. But I think it's just going to be super fun to watch, man. I know you guys are as excited as I am to see some actual game footage of these guys. And it's only a couple weeks away at this point, man. So
yeah,
that's crazy. I'm hyped. You guys are hyped, and let's get it.
Yeah, man. I love that assessment. I feel like I'm happy Ali and Jack both brought up Mike LaFleur because you got to give credit to him, man. He is giving Zach Wilson every single opportunity to make the game easy for him. Quick reads, in and out of the pocket, quick releases. He's scanning the field properly. That second touchdown throw to Tyler Kroft, nobody deserves the touchdown credit more than Mike LaFleur. That play design was to perfection. We've never seen that for the Jets in a long time on the offensive side of the ball. We had a receiver going motion to the right, and then it was the play was snapped. Play action to the running back, also a play action to the receiver going right, and then Tyler Kroft, the tight end, went the opposite direction. Play action boot. Zach Wilson just makes it look so easy by flipping his hips and just throwing on the run. Perfect pass, and then Tyler Kroft makes someone miss getting into the end zone. That was just a play design that I've never seen from the Jets in a long time, and that just shows you the evolution of the Jets offense as a whole. And then Zach's first touchdown throw to Tyler Kroft was the most impressive throw of the day outside of that crazy seed to the right hash sideline of Corey Davis, simply because Zach Wilson, what we saw in that play was something that rookies don't usually do. And what he did was he looked off the safety, and he also put the ball in a spot where Tyler Kroft would not get destroyed. So if you guys want to look back at that in the end zone perspective, I don't have the footage to show you, but Zach Wilson dropped back. He knew he was going to the left. He saw Tyler Kroft. He saw him beat the defender in zone. He looked to his right to make the safety bite that way, and then he quickly looked to the left, quick release, touchdown. That's a veteran quarterback. That's what you do when you're a veteran. You've been in the league. As a rookie quarterback, to process things that fast, quickly, live action, live reps, that's very impressive. I don't care that it's not against the first team defense. He still was going up against a live opponent and a live pass rush coming at him, and he was able to look off the safety and throw a perfect pass. And then the another thing about Zach that's impressed me so far is third downs. Every time it was third down the previous years, it's like, oh, here we go. It's either a pass before the sticks, they don't get it, or it's a run, or it's a screen. This year, it's like Zach Wilson drops back in the pocket. The pocket's collapsing. Zach is not, worried. He's not happy feet. He is so like confident that he's getting this ball out in time, and he's giving it on time to Corey Davis. He's making Corey Davis one-on-one. He beats his route, and then the ball's out of his hands on a rope to Corey Davis in perfect position. And we're just moving the sticks. And that's just so refreshing because I feel like the Jets offense have not really done that. And to back off of what Jack said as well, the run game has looked so good. And that's such an important part to this offense, as we know. Tevin Coleman looked pretty decent in his debut with the Jets. Ty Johnson looks extremely explosive. He gets like 5 or 6 yards per carry, it seems like. And if that run game can continue to, get those chunk of yards on first and second downs, that's only going to help out the rookie quarterback even more. But man, Zach Wilson, what he really showed me the most, and I know that, he might be getting a little overhyped in the national media simply because he's playing so well, and everyone's saying that he looks like the best rookie quarterback out of them all. And I just feel like Jets fans need to understand that he's definitely exceeding my expectations of preseason. Like, going into preseason, hearing all the reports about training camp that he's not looking so efficient, he's not looking that good, I was not expecting him to do this in preseason. I think we can all agree of that. But I don't want to hear the whole excuse of, oh, well, we shouldn't really care because it's against the second team. Because if you flip the coin and say he was struggling, Zach Wilson goes out there, throws an interception, he's 5 for 11, 50 yards and a pick. What do you think Jets fans are going to be saying? That's not good. He's not playing well against the second team. Everyone's going to be saying he's a bust. He's terrible. How can you do that? He's not even ready. He shouldn't start. But now we're on the other side of things. He's like absolutely lighting it up, dissecting defenses, had the same amount of incompletions as touchdowns. That's a very good sign. That's something that this offense can build off of. The good days, they're stacking them up. Mike LaFleur deserves a lot of credit. The offensive line deserves a lot of credit. The playmakers around him. And the awesome part about it is we still have not seen Zach Wilson with Elijah Moore or Elijah Vera Tucker, and they look this good. AVT is not out there. Elijah Moore has been the best player in training camp outside of Carl Lawson, unfortunately for him, that he's out for the year. But all we heard was Elijah Moore making play after play after play. And you see the connection between Zach Wilson and Corey Davis. Now imagine having that connection with two guys. That's going to really open up this offense into another dimension. And I also want to give a shout out to Tyler Kroft, because I feel like if he can really take that step and be a reliable pass catching tight end for us, that's going to be huge. We know that the tight end position is really up in the air. Nobody's expecting anything from Chris Herndon. I think Jets fans have, hopped off that train until he just proves it otherwise. So I'm just really impressed by this offensive game plan. I'm impressed by the quarterback play. I'm impressed by the entire, offense as a whole. Everything was clicking all cylinders from this first team offense. That's all you can ask, because we are super young, rookie offensive play caller, rookie head coach, rookie running backs, rookie wide receivers, rookie offensive linemen. They're all super young, and you just got to tip your caps, man. They went out there, executed the game plan, and Zach just looks so good out there, guys. Like, there's some times where I'm watching the highlights, and I'm like, he just has a different aura about him, like a different feel, different energy, whether it's the zip on his arm, the way he carries himself, the energy he has, even when he's just like, he gets a first down, he passes offensive lineman on the back, being that leader that we want to see, seeing him on the sidelines talking to LaFleur. He just has a different swagger to him that I feel like I'm not really used to as a Jets quarterback. So I can just go off all about Zach Wilson. I can rave about him, but at the end of the day, he needs to do this in the regular season, because if he doesn't, then we're going to look back and say, oh, Jets fans are just hyping him up and now he's putting up a dud in regular season. We have to realize that he's a rookie quarterback and he's going to make a lot of mistakes this year. But the big thing that we have to evaluate is he going to repeat those mistakes, or is he going to learn from it? That's what you need to realize, because we have to understand this is a rookie quarterback. He's going to have a lot of growing pains. He can even go out there week one and stink it up and not look that great. And we cannot get overreactive. We cannot evaluate Zach Wilson as our quarterback, honestly, until we get a complete rookie season of tape and seeing where he's at. So that's really my thoughts of Zach Wilson and the offense. You guys heard from Ali and Jack. Now let's pivot to the defensive side of things. The defense definitely did not have their best day yesterday, or Saturday rather. But I will say the backup defense looked lights out. We have young guys all over the place. Jamin Sherwood, Hansman Nazarudine, John Marshall, Brandon Eccles getting a pick, Lamar Jackson getting a pick, and they shut them down the second half. But the first half defense, CJ Mosley was out there, Marcus May, Bryce Hall, Isaiah Dunn was playing with the starters, and Bryce Huff, JFM didn't really get pressure, and we were just getting carved. The Packers had a 10-minute drive. It was a little frustrating to watch. So we're going to start with you, Jack. What was your thoughts of the Jets defense in preseason against the Packers, the starters and the backups?
Yeah, the first half was definitely a little rough. The starting group definitely looked like they had some things that they need to work out, which is to be expected, for sure. Obviously, we're still missing a couple key guys out there. Obviously, we know Lawson just went down. Quinnen Williams is not out there yet. So the defense wasn't at full starting force, obviously, but it definitely looked a little shaky, man, for sure. I can definitely say that. I think we can all say that confidently that the first half defense looked a little shaky. But then that second half, man, all of a sudden the defense became really fun to watch. I guess the second team defense that would be. And I don't know whether it was because of our defense being good or the guy that Green Bay had out there playing quarterback just couldn't get out of his own way, because that was hard to watch, man. I felt bad for that dude watching that guy just trip over his own legs and just, I don't know. That guy looked like he belongs nowhere in the NFL. That guy, I forget his last name, but I couldn't tell if it was because that guy stunk or because our second team defense was awesome. But yeah, they couldn't do anything in the second half offensively, and we were just all over them. Jamian Sherwood was making plays. Brandon Eccles is a player that looked really good out there. I'm excited to see what he's going to do as time progresses. But overall, I think the defense as a whole definitely is going to go through a little bit of growing pains. I mean, as the offense will as well. But I think we saw the other night that the first team defense is definitely going to go through some growing pains, man. But it's to be expected. And another thing that I can say from being at training camp the other day and watching preseason games, not just from the Jets but for teams all throughout the league, first team, second team, third team, it's just a way of organizing it, man. You don't know who's really going to be out there with the ones or with the twos until week one. And even so, injuries are constantly happening and guys are rotating in and out anyway. So I really try not to give much thought to, who's on the first team, who's on the second team, until you're actually out there watching meaningful games that count towards your record. I mean, because we were out there at training camp a week ago, me and Richie, watching Zach Wilson throw to everybody from Elijah Moore to Corey Davis to Vincent Smith, or Jeff Smith, and everybody, so it's just, I try not to give too much thought to that until the season actually begins. But, overall, the defense definitely has some ground to make up, but I think they will, man. I really like Jeff Ulbrich a lot, our new defensive coordinator. Obviously, Saleh, our head coach, is a defensive-minded guy. So I definitely have faith in the defense to get it together. Like I said earlier in the stream, I think at this point, with the Jared Davis and the Carl Lawson injury, that we need to really protect CJ Mosley, man, because he needs to be out there for 17 games this year playing at a high level in order for this defense to really come together as we all envision. So I think it could definitely happen, man. It's just a matter of keeping CJ healthy. And, if CJ can get back to that form of 2 years prior. So, there's definitely some variables at this time, but we still have another preseason game to go. And then we got regular football, guys. So it's coming. But I think the defense will definitely come together.
So, Ali, what was your thoughts of the defense against the Packers, whether it's the first team or the second team?
I think they're just trying to learn how to play without Carl Lawson. I think they're just trying to adjust to losing Carl Lawson, who's pretty much the domination of training camp so far. And that's why the Jets defense has been so high and standard-wise. I mean, it is something to worry about, but it's something that the Jets could solve really quickly. Especially with Robert Saleh, who worked with a lot of injuries in San Francisco. He knows what to do. He knows how to get get stuff out of these guys. And the Jets are apparently trying to go get a pass rusher through a trade. So, they just gotta learn that, he's gone. Oh, well, I know it's a loss, but now you gotta these guys need to step up. These younger guys need to step up, and you don't know when they're going to step up and how well they're going to play because we haven't seen them out there on the regular field. You don't know. One of these guys could be a stud, and help this team grow. And I feel like this goes for a lot of other teams. Like when San Francisco lost their players, guys stepped up, and that's what the Jets are going to have to do. The Jets also they didn't have Quentin Williams, they didn't have Sheldon Rankins. They didn't have Bless Austin. They didn't even have LaMarcus Joyner. So they had a lot of guys that were not playing on Saturday. So, it goes for both ends that they're both sides just didn't have players out there. They're just trying to learn how to play football together. It's a new group of guys. They haven't played with each other. It's a new system. They're just trying to figure everything out. Obviously, they're lucky that they have about 3 weeks to get everything settled in. I said this in a video on my own that maybe this is the best thing that could have happened for the Jets. If the injury happened a week before the season, it would be devastating. They would be lost week 1. They have 3 weeks to adjust. They have 3 weeks to figure out how to play as a team without Carl Lawson and without Jared Davis. All these guys who are out. Now he can scheme it a little bit differently. He can put guys where they can excel. So I'm not too worried about the defense. I think Isaiah Dunn is a guy that, who wanted the second cornerback spot, but has struggled with Bless Austin being out. So that's some guy that we have to keep an eye on because he had a really good camp. But other than that, I mean, it's kind of open for other spots. And, it's about what intensity they bring to practice. I do think this defense is going to have a chip on their shoulder. They're going to have something to play for. They want to win. And, Fatu Kasi did the same thing. He said afterwards, after the game, is that losing Carl was a heartbreaker for the team. Losing him, your soul of the defense, your energy of this defense, he's gone. But, he pretty much said he doesn't feel sorry for himself. He wants to go out there and set the standard high. And that's what he pretty much said in his quote. I don't know the exact quote that he said, but, it is what it is, right? You got to go out there and play some football. So, yeah, I mean, the defense needs to adjust, and they're going to have time to. I think the coaching staff is the biggest thing that we have, and you should trust the coaching staff because we have a coaching staff that knows how to adjust. They dealt with problems like this in San Francisco. So, I mean, the sky's the limit for them, but they had a lot of work to do.
Yeah, indeed. And the unfortunate part about the loss to Carl Lawson is that the lack of experience at the cornerback room is supposed to be made up with a guy like Carl Lawson getting to the quarterback. So now we find out from Adam Schefter that the Jets are exploring trade scenarios to bring in a veteran edge rusher, whether that is, Chandler Jones, I see some Jets fans talking about, or if they do go out there and get a veteran pass rusher, I wish it's somebody that has a little years of control where we're not just paying for a rental. I'd rather bring someone that's going to be here for 2 or 3 years if we're going to give up any ounce of capital. But I will say about this defense, we still have 3 very solid players on this Jets team that I think are Pro Bowl caliber that are healthy right now. That's Quinnen Williams, CJ Mosley, and Marcus May. If those 3 players can stay healthy all year long, I feel like the Jets defense will be in a right situation because Quinnen Williams was a great player in year 2. We're expecting another jump from him. CJ Mosley, the only thing that's held him back for the Jets is obviously his health. He's never been able to play football, so we can't even assess if he's a good player or not. And then Marcus May is coming off of one of, a very solid safety campaign last year, even with a terrible season. So those are 3 very good players on the New York Jets defense that are still healthy. Bryce Hall is trying to establish himself as being the cornerback number 1. I really feel like that Bryce Hall has a lot of, ability within him to prove to be a CB1. He has a really big body. He can match up well against a physical type of wide receiver, and I'm excited to see what he could do. Javelin Guidry has separated himself, I feel like, in the nickel race, as well as Michael Carter II. It's going to be hard to see which one's going to go out there and be the starter, but I wouldn't complain if either one of those start. I feel like they're going to sub them in and out. And the CB2 spots obviously up for grabs. Bless Austin has missed the preseason week 2 due to a personal issue, but it's just a good sign. We have young guys. We have the next minute mentality. The defensive line is the strong suit of this team. And I feel like John Franklin Myers and Bryce Huff, they both have to step up big time. And don't forget, we have a guy named Vinny Curry still on the team who who is a veteran edge rusher, a Super Bowl champion, who's unfortunately injured right now, but he'll be back with the team week 2. That's going to be a big addition whenever he does get healthy. So, the defense definitely taking their losses. We unfortunately lost Carl Lawson for the season and Jared Davis for, 6 weeks. But the good news is that's going to open up opportunities for the young guys, such as Jamie Sherwood and Hamza Nasruddin. It's going to give Bryce Huff an opportunity to see if he's an actual NFL edge rusher in this league or not. And it's going to give JFM another opportunity. So hopefully these are the last of the injuries and we can stay healthy. I would honestly not play CJ in the last preseason game. I think that's one player he should not play. He doesn't really need a lot of reps. I have confidence in him, but I expect the rookies to play a lot. So that's really our thoughts of the offense and defense. Let's get into some individual players. Let's get into Corey Davis, because I feel like Corey Davis looks like a very, very good player so far with the Jets. He looks like a true number 1 receiver. Zach Wilson is feeding him the rock. He's beating people up one-on-ones. He had a very good training camp against Alexander on the Packers. They were going back and forth. Alexander got the best of him, then Corey Davis got the best of him. So, Jack, what's your thoughts of Corey Davis, and do you think he's going to prove to be a true number 1 receiver that this Jets team has looked for since, honestly, Brandon Marshall?
I do, man. I definitely feel that way about Corey Davis. This is a guy who was drafted 5th overall the year he was taken. He's 26, 27 years old, so he's pretty much in his physical prime. And he's coming off of the best season of his career. And he's coming off of the best season of his career on a team that also had A.J. Brown, who is an emerging young, one of the best receivers in the NFL. And Derrick Henry, who is arguably, the best, certainly the most dominant running back in the NFL. So he's on a team where he's competing for his touches with 2 other fantastic players. So, now that he's with the Jets and he's, our best receiver on the roster, our most reliable set of hands on the roster, he's really in a position now where, he's going to in an incredible position to succeed. I think him and Zach Wilson's chemistry that they're already developing, is obvious when you watch these preseason games. And I think that, Corey Davis could certainly be a 1,000-yard receiver this year, man. I think that that's a very big possibility. And I know I'll be looking to pick up Corey Davis in fantasy because, everybody sleeps on Jets players, which as they probably should for the majority of the time. But not this year, man. I think that Corey Davis is going to have a fantastic year. I'm booking it definitely over 1,000 yards receiving. You can just see the connection already, man. I mean, I think that if Corey stays healthy, I think that he's going to be Zach Wilson's number 1 target all the time, and I think he's going to be seeing a lot of balls come his way. And I think it's going to be fun as hell to watch, man. And I'm looking to pick him up in fantasy. So that's how I feel about Corey Davis. I'm booking it 1,000 yards. And, it's going to happen.
All right. Well, Jack is extremely high on Corey Davis, as all Jets fans should, because he looks like a guy that is entering his prime of his career and has looked good so far. Ali, what's your thoughts of Corey Davis so far in preseason?
Yeah, I mean, he gets a lot of hate for no reason. I mean, people have called him a bust already, and after his first season, because his first season was not great. But the connection is real. He's a perfect fit in this offense. He's a play-action god, pretty much. He's like the best play-action receiver in the league, and that's what the Jets are going to be running a lot. And I think the Jets finally have a third down guy. That's Corey Davis. I mean, I think that's the first read. What they do on third down is Zach Wilson tries to take Corey Davis for the first down and extend the chains, and he's very successful on that, on doing that. So, yeah, I mean, I'm high on him. I don't know if I'm 1,000-yard high on Corey Davis, but because I think they are going to spread the ball a lot in this offense, especially with Elijah Moore coming in the mix of it, and then Denzel Mims being out. I think Corey Davis got a lot of targets from last game because of those guys being out. But when they come back in, it's going to be a lot less targets for him, of them just moving the ball a little bit. So I think Corey Davis, man, I think he's a great signing. When we got him, I was ecstatic about it. And, my guy was Allen Robinson. That's the guy I wanted. but Corey Davis is not too far away from being a good number one receiver for the New York Jets. I think he has a chance. He doesn't have A.J. Brown shadowing him on the other end. He's a star of this team. That's what he is. And he's gonna have to come in clutch for this team. And I think he's ready for that challenge. I think he's ready to do that. And we've seen that in the last two preseason games. Zach Wilson trusts him and Corey Davis trusts him. So I think it's, LaFleur is using him in a way where he gets utilized, gives him a chance to succeed. And he was a big time signing for us at the wide receiver position. We'll see how he plays out for the New York Jets.
Yeah, man. The interesting thing about Corey Davis is he's never succeeded as a number one receiver. He got drafted 5th overall because he was one of the greatest college wide receivers that we've ever seen, which is why he went 5th overall. And then he had an injury-riddled start to his career. And then when he really got, going, the Titans drafted A.J. Brown, and A.J. Brown ascended. So he was never the true number one option. So this is his opportunity to show the league that he is a true number one option in the NFL. And I feel like he has every single opportunity to do so. Ali, we're gonna sign Ali off. He has going, so it's just gonna be me and Jack to finish off the stream. We're gonna open this up to a Jets Q&A. Ali, do you want to say anything before we let you go, bro?
Yeah, man, it was a fun time. One more preseason game to go, and then we're on to the regular season, guys. So see you guys next week. I'll be in a different place in my apartment. That's why it's completely bland in the back, because I'm moving pretty much in the process. So when next time I stream, we'll be in my apartment in completely different area. So it's gonna be fun. I'll see you guys next Monday. I'll see you guys, Richie. See you, Jack. Peace.
All right, peace out, Ali. Have a good one, bro.
brother.
All right, it's just Jack and I. So now, let's see. What should we talk about? What do you want to talk about, Jack? Anything Jets related that you just want to get off your system? We rewatched the Jets-Packers game yesterday together. What was something that you took notice of when you rewatched the game, whether it's a certain player, it's a certain position group, it's the coach, it's Robert Saleh on the sideline? What did you take away the most from that game?
I would say probably the game plan. Just, keeping Zach out of trouble, keeping him on his feet, feeding the run game, getting the tight ends involved, looking for Corey Davis, things like that. It made me confident to see that we're taking care of Zach Wilson, the way we should have taken care of Sam Darnold. It just makes me confident that we finally have a competent coaching staff that's going to be handling their rookie quarterback in the proper way. So that made me feel good for sure. It's just the offensive game plan that I saw out there.
One element that I feel like we both enjoyed watching that I think Jets fans should be excited about is the running attack on offense. We saw Tevin Coleman's debut. We saw Ty Johnson have a couple runs. We saw the offensive line open up a pretty decent amount of holes. We also saw Michael Carter in the second half look pretty good in his, second time ever being a Jets running back. He had some, he looks very tiny out there, but he had one run. It was a 15-yard carry where, someone tried to wrap him up. He broke the tackle. He stayed balanced and he picked up 15 yards. And that's awesome to see from your rookie running back. So what's your thoughts of the Jets, running game, and what should we expect with this, wide zone spread scheme? We also saw Mekhi Becton get a block. So what's your thoughts of this offensive line mixed with the running backs?
I think it's going to be the most important, factor in Zach Wilson's success this year is how well we can run the ball. I think we're going to be running the ball a lot. I think our game plan is going to be to run the ball more than we're going to be passing the ball. And, like I said, that's just the game plan. Obviously, if you get yourself in a situation where you have to play catch up, then you got to be throwing the ball. But every team's goal is obviously to never put yourself in a position to have to do that. So I think we're going to be running the ball a lot this year. I think that it's going to be very helpful to Zach and his development. And I'm confident in the four guys that we have out there, man. I think that between LaMichael Pirine, Ty Johnson, the rookie Michael Carter, and the veteran Tevin Coleman, I think that those are four names that I would feel confident having out there in their different situational roles. Like, obviously, we'll see as time goes on which situations, benefit certain guys and which guys are stronger in certain situations than others. So to have those 4 guys, and I do expect all 4 of them to make the team and to see the field, honestly. Yeah, to have those 4 guys, it definitely gives me confidence, man. I mean, you got a guy like Tevin Coleman, who's who I didn't realize has been with LaFleur for like his whole coaching career.
Yeah.
From Atlanta to San Francisco, and now here in New York with the Jets. So Tevin Coleman is obviously just that veteran that we have, who knows the system inside and out, and who's here to, he's obviously going to be, very productive out there for us, we hope, but he's also here to, show the ropes to guys like Ty Johnson and Michael Carter and LaMichael Piron. So he's just an invaluable guy to have. The rookie Michael Carter, he looked good in the second half of this last game against the Packers. He looked good. He looks explosive. He looks like a guy who can, for a smaller sized guy, he looks like a guy who can, fight through contact and move the pile. And he looks like a guy who I actually wouldn't mind giving the ball to right up the gut. So he kind of looks like well, he could also be a very good pass catcher as well, but he looks like the kind of, small, elusive body to, give it up the gut on, 2nd and 4 or something like that. And, hopes he breaks it to the second level and breaks it for a big gain. So I love the little 1-2 tandem that we already have with Coleman and Carter. And then you got a guy like Ty Johnson, who's really, probably been the most explosive running back we've had on the roster throughout this preseason so far. And I don't think anybody was really expecting that, but hey, we'll take it, man. I mean, we just want to see this team be successful. So however that's going to happen is, we'll take it. So I'm excited to see what more we're going to get out of Ty Johnson. He seems like a really, explosive running back who kind of has plays with a chip on his shoulder. He reminds me a little bit of like a Phillip Lindsay type of guy, Ty Johnson. So, yeah, I'm definitely excited to see what we have with him. And LaMichael Piron is probably the least sexy name out of those 4 at this point. But still, I still have confidence in him to go out there and maybe be a third down guy, or we'll see how he gets used. But I certainly think that all 4 names, Tevin Coleman, Michael Carter, and I'm already forgetting the other 2 I just mentioned. Tevin Coleman, Michael Carter, Ty Johnson, and LaMichael Piron.
There you go. Yeah, man, this offense is going to be really fun. Yeah, I feel like this running back committee group, I feel like Jets fans are going to enjoy this approach. I feel like, we can see them running off tackle, either right, left, up the middle, and they're going to be utilized all over the place. That's why I don't really feel confident drafting a Jets running back in fantasy, because it's really unpredictable of who's going to get the carries every single day. The funny thing is, I just had a draft last night. Michael Carter is the first running back being drafted in terms of the Jets running back room. And I don't think he's going to be the most productive this year. I think Ty Johnson and Tevin Coleman might get more looks than him. But at the end of the year, hopefully Michael Carter gets the boatload of carries. That's what Jets fans really want to see. So now, before we open this up to a Jets Q&A, I think we got to talk about Zach Wilson one more time, because he's definitely, the talk of the Jets right now. Everybody, whether on ESPN, every single national sports radio right now, they're talking about the rookie quarterbacks. They're evaluating Justin Fields. They're evaluating Trey Lance. Trevor Lawrence plays tonight, and they're comparing and contrasting all these rookie quarterbacks, and it's refreshing because usually the national media, they don't really give the Jets a lot of optimistic takes, but it's crazy because a lot of people are hopping on the Zach Wilson train right now. We saw high praise from Tony Romo. Tony Romo said that he just watched one preseason game and then a couple games at BYU, and he's already calling him a young Dan Marino, saying that his potential is Patrick Mahomes. I'm not putting Zach Wilson at that level. I don't think any Jets fan has that expectations right now, but it's definitely cool to hear Tony Romo say that. And then Aaron Rodgers, in the middle of the game, got interviewed by him, and Aaron Rodgers had a first, close perspective of how Zach Wilson goes about his game in practice for 2 days, and he got to watch him at Lambeau Field light it up. And Aaron Rodgers said he can throw the heck out of the ball. He loves the way that he moves. He loves his processing ability. He brought up that play that Jets fans are still drooling over, which was rolling to the right and, zipping it all the way to the right sideline to Corey Davis. He brought that up and saying he's going to have to do that a lot in this league, especially with a young and inexperienced offensive line in front of him. And he thinks that he has a lot of confidence in him. So Aaron Rodgers is not someone that just loves to, hand out compliments. He's never going to do that unless he genuinely believes it. Aaron Rodgers is in a place in his life where, he's, focusing on the mind. He has a Zen mentality. If you follow him on Twitter or Instagram, all he does is post about meditation quotes and stuff. He's just to himself. He doesn't really get caught up about the media and what other people are saying. And it's really interesting to see him, kind of take Zach Wilson under his wing in a way by, talking to him during practice. Zach Wilson mentioned that in the middle of practice at Lambeau or during the joint practice against the Packers, Aaron Rodgers walked up to Zach Wilson and he was critiquing him. He was saying, hey, this play, you look good, but this, you got to change it. You got to look at the defense this way. You got to change that. You got to change that. Aaron Rodgers doesn't have to do that. Aaron Rodgers sees the potential in Zach Wilson. I guess he's hearing the comparisons. Everyone's comparing Zach Wilson's arm to Aaron Rodgers' Mahomes, and that's not saying that he's going to be that level. The reason why the comparison's there is simply because the way Zach throws the football off platform. You can see the talents there, and I just really feel like Aaron Rodgers giving that high praise should speak volume because he's not a type of guy that just, speak on that. He's not going to just say that without meaning behind it. So, Jack, what's your thoughts of Aaron Rodgers giving, high praise to Zach? And you just want to give more of your thoughts about how Zach has looked so far and your overall expectations for him in his rookie season.
Yeah, I mean, first of all, the Aaron Rodgers thing, that's great to hear. And it's great to hear stuff like that from guys like Tony Romo and, a bunch of different analysts that work for ESPN, NFL Network, so on and so on. That's just great to hear, man. You never as a Jets fan who's just used to experiencing pure pain, I feel like we're kind of numb to hearing things like that because we're like, yeah, right. Thanks a lot for saying that. We'll see how it actually works out.
Exactly.
But, it certainly feels different. There's a different energy, around the whole Jets universe these days. It really feels that way. So, it's great to hear that from respectable guys like Romo and like Aaron Rodgers. So that's definitely fantastic. But, what do I think of Zach so far? I think that Zach has looked very good, very poised. He looks confident and he looks like he's ready to lead this team. As far as his actual play on the field goes, we've all been talking about his arm talent for a while now, how the ball rather just zips right off of his arm. Always a tight spiral, always a lot of zip on the ball. It feels like, he just, barely moves his arm and then the ball just comes flying out in a nice tight spiral. And his throwing motion is just beautiful. A lot of people, have touched on that. And I can definitely say from seeing it in person myself at training camp and also obviously during the preseason games, he does have a beautiful, very natural way that he throws the football. Which is, invaluable. I mean, he's super accurate, which is great because I feel like accuracy is one of those things I don't want to say anything is not coachable, but accuracy is more that thing that either you have it or you don't. And obviously you can coach up any aspect of your game, but the fact that he's accurate and we don't have to worry about his accuracy is fantastic because, that's a much less coachable aspect of the game than other aspects is your accuracy. It's, either you're accurate or you're not accurate from what I've seen, at least as a football fan. But I think Zach has the goods to be a great quarterback, man. It's just, a matter of if we can keep him on his feet, if we can keep him on the field, if we can, continue to surround him with talent like we started to do this offseason, like we'll hopefully continue to do in the next offseason and all the off seasons that follow, because we can't make the same mistake. I know I've said this on this stream already, but we can't make the same mistake where we did with Sam Darnold, where, we got to put everything on Zach's shoulders and, Zach has to make everything happen because that's just not a winning formula for a team, a very young team overall, but especially a team with a rookie quarterback. So I definitely have the confidence in Zach Wilson to go out there and get it done. It's just going to be a matter of, the staff and the players around him to, all benefit each other. And, Zach's going to, continue to benefit and lead this team, but we just need all the players around him to do their parts, the coaching staff to do their part, and not make it felt like it felt over the past 3 years where it felt like Sam Darnold's running for his life. Sometimes he makes an incredible play and you're like, holy crap. Sometimes he throws a pick, like that era should be done. It's a full team effort. Zach Wilson can't be running around like a chicken without his head trying to make something out of nothing. That's the trap that Sam Darnold fell into with this team. So, we have more running back talent, more receiver talent, more talent on the offensive line. So I definitely, am confident in Zach to get the job done. And man, I expect certainly not a playoff season. I don't even think I expect a winning season, honestly. I just want to see Zach Wilson look good. I want to see him play 17 games. I want to see the coaching staff do what they need to do in order to develop him properly. And man, I think that there's so many variables and there's a lot to get done, and it's still going to be a long road. But I think the pieces are finally there, and now they just have to come together.
Yeah, I agree. You hit on all the points about Zach. I think that the one thing that impresses me the most about Zach is his ability to stay within the pocket when it's collapsing and not get rattled. I mean, there's not a lot of quarterbacks that can do that. And granted, it's the preseason. He hasn't went up against a live first team crazy pass rush. But there are still some times, if you look at the tape, where the pocket is collapsing, the pass rush is getting to him, and he doesn't seem rattled. I mean, if you guys watched Trey Lance last night, he looked really good after the interception. But if you look at him in that first series, there were some times where Trey Lance was behind the pocket and he would double clutch, he would hesitate, and then he would throw an inaccurate pass. We haven't seen that from Zach yet, at least. I'm expecting, if we don't see that type of play from Zach at all this year, of him being hesitant and, looking a little rattled, then we really have a superstar in our heads. I'm expecting him to feel that eventually. I'm expecting him to be a little worried in the pocket, be indecisive, don't know where to go with the football, either taking a sack where you shouldn't. That's the negatives that rookie quarterbacks naturally go through. Justin Herbert had a phenomenal rookie season, probably one of the best we've ever seen, and he still even had some games where he looked terrible. So that's just a reality of being a rookie. It's just pretty awesome that Zach Wilson has not made one turnover-worthy play so far. He has not, even come close to an interception, not even come close to being touched. Whenever there is a pass rush in his face, he seems to stay within the pocket. That's something that has really stood out to me the most, because I said it earlier, but there's just a certain play, third down, the pocket's collapsing. He's not moving. He's not like rolling to the right or left. He's staying there because he is confident in his receivers to get open, and he's staying there, and then he just, fires that ball on time, the money for the first down, especially for someone that size, because everyone's saying, not everyone, but there's some people that mention his size. He's not that big. He's going to be, is he going to be able to take a hit? And yeah, he's not the biggest quarterback. He's 6'2", 215. And Aaron Rodgers is 6'2", like 230. I mean, it's not really that much of a difference. Colin Cowherd keeps comparing him to Colin Cowherd makes Zach Wilson seem like he is Kyler Murray height. Like, he's not that small. He's 6'2". He has a little, he's not the biggest body out there. He's not that prototypical, football quarterback body, but you could tell that he has confidence in himself to take a hit. And I'll take that from a rookie. Obviously, you want to see him stay protected and, stay off the turf as much as possible, but he's not been touched once. The offensive line has protected him. And when we did see that, that play where he threw the rope to Corey Davis on that right sideline, it was a good play design. It was a play action. It was the tight end and the running back sealed off that left side to protect him. But then Mekhi did get a little beat because Zach was holding onto the football a little too long. So then there was a pass rusher in Zach's face. So Zach naturally rolled to his right and threw a dart down the field. And that's the, the talent that we saw from BYU. That's the reason why he went second overall. That's what we saw from the combine. You remember the combine? He was throwing against air and everybody was like, oh my God, he's throwing rolling to his left 40 yards that way. And some people are like, yo, that's not that impressive. It's, he's not playing with pads on. And I wasn't that impressed by that, just because, I feel like anybody in that setting could do something. But the cool thing about Zach is he practices those type of throws. He practices the off-platform, ridiculous, flipping the hips the other way. So that's when you can do that at the other level. Who said it this morning? I wish I can give the guy the credit, but someone compared Zach Wilson to like Steph Curry, where Steph Curry practices the ridiculous shots. That's how Steph Curry hits those shots. He practices the 50-foot bombs. He practices the 40-foot guys. He practices the behind-the-back step-back threes that are ridiculous to hit. Zach Wilson in practice, he practices the off-platform throws. He practices the ridiculous things, and that's why he's able to hit it at the other level, because he grew up watching Aaron Rodgers do it his entire life. So he's trying to emulate that. And again, I'm not crowning Zach Wilson to be anything yet. He has not proved it in the regular season. He has a lot of things to improve on in terms of, at least going up against a live competition in a game that matters with a first team that has a live pass rush. We'll see what happens. But the good sign is he looks this good right now. He's taking advantage of the opportunity given to him. He is dissecting defenses. He looks confident. He's looking off defenders. He's decisive with his throws. And we haven't even seen him. I mentioned this earlier. We haven't seen Zach with Elijah Moore yet, or Elijah Vera Tucker. Dan Feeney's getting exposed almost every other play, it seems like. That's a little concerning. So hopefully ABT can stay healthy. And I know that pec injury can linger, but hopefully that's not the case and ABT can play healthy all season long. But Elijah Moore, man, Jack? We haven't seen Elijah Moore yet, unfortunately, because of his quad injury. Robert Saleh says he's expecting Elijah Moore to be back this week and get some reps. And he said, God willing, AVT and Elijah Moore will be back week 1. So what do you expect from Elijah Moore when he takes the field? And what do you think he could bring to this offense? Because we haven't seen him yet. We've only seen Corey Davis and Jamison Crowder and Keelan Cole out there. So what are you expecting from Elijah Moore in his rookie season?
Yeah, I have very high expectations for Elijah Moore, man, because I think he has the skill set to really go out there and be one of the best young up-and-coming receivers in the league. I really do. I mean, we saw it with our own eyes at training camp. He was just the talk of the day, making every play all over the field, both in 11-on-11 and 7-on-7 red zone. The quickness in his cuts when he's running his routes is honestly, I haven't seen anybody like that on the Jets in maybe my whole life, and there's only a handful of guys around that in the whole NFL. I mean, there's only a handful of guys like that around the whole NFL that can, just be as quick and elusive as he is while he's running routes. I mean, it was just beautiful to watch him put somebody on absolute skates in the 7-on-7 red zone drill, running a little zig route, little misdirection route. And he just planted hard on his right foot and went the other way. And I forget who was covering him, but that guy had no chance. And so I'm just expecting really big things from Elijah Moore. I love the fact that he has Jamison Crowder to be behind and learn from and pick things up from, because Jamison Crowder, let's face it, has been probably the biggest bright spot on this Jets team since he became a Jet. It's been dark years on the Jets since Jamison Crowder became part of the gang, unfortunately for him. But we got to give it up to Jamison as Jet fans for sticking with us and playing hard and having being like I said, being the only offensive bright spot on this team for a couple of years now. So I love that Jamison's out there, and that's just going to benefit a guy like Elijah Moore even more. Elijah's really about to take the league over, man. I think that he's really something special. I think that he has the talent to really become one of the best young receivers in this league, man.
I agree, man. It's unfortunate he has a quad injury. Shout out to my guy, Nick. I miss you, bro. Can't wait to see you tomorrow. But it sucks that Elijah Moore has this quad injury. Hopefully he'll be fine and be okay to go week 1 and be healthy all season long. Quad injuries can definitely linger on. So definitely not good news with that. But I love his mentality. I feel like Elijah Moore is approaching his rehab process great. So guys, before we end off the stream, we're going to open this up to a Jets Q&A. So you guys can ask Jack and myself any question you guys want. Just in the chat, just ask your question and we'll try to get to all of them. Also, if you guys can please make sure you smash that like button if you're not already. We got around 45 likes with over 100 people watching. So let's try to smash that thumbs up button. Let's get this well over around the 100 like mark. That would be great. So make sure you smash that like button and then comment your question that you want Jack and myself to, talk about, because there's so many things we could talk about with this Jets team, whether it's Zach Wilson, whether it's the offense, whether it's the play calling, it's Robert Saleh. There's so many things to talk about. So whatever you guys want us to talk about, you can, ask away in the comment section, and we'll try to give you guys, some quality answers. You feel me?
On it.
This week we are going up against the Philadelphia Eagles, and we are practicing against them at Floral Park twice. Hopefully we get through that injury-free, and then we verse them on Friday night to finish off the preseason, and then we have 1 week of rest, and then we got regular season football. That's going to be pretty crazy. There's so many things happening. I feel like it's happening a little too fast, but I'm not complaining because, I love football.
Modine, I want to hear the same sentiment after 5 weeks. Don't hide after 5 weeks of Jets football if things aren't working out. Mo, clearly you're new to the channel, man, because last year we went 2-14 and we were here every Monday talking Jets. We were live streaming during every game, reacting to the Jets games. So this is what we do, man. You will definitely hear us after 5 weeks. We ain't going anywhere, regardless of how the Jets are playing. So, yeah, man.
Yeah, seriously, if you were here with me last year and Jack last year, we went through hell and we still made videos every single week. We played each other in Madden. So listen, when the Jets are terrible, I make videos. When the Jets are decent, I make videos. When the Jets are really good, whenever that will be, I will be making videos. So you guys know where to find me.
Yeah.
Is the hype real? Asks Jets Forever. The hype around the Jets right now, we have to realize is because the Jets are so bad. Or sorry, they were so bad last year. So when there's a little glimpse of competency, when there's a little glimpse of, wow, the Jets actually have something going. They actually have a coaching staff. They actually have some weapons. People are going to talk about it. There's going to be hype around it. Is the hype real, meaning we're going to the playoffs this year? No. That's what people realize. They hear, all these non-Jets fans are hearing Jets fans, going crazy. Zach Wilson looks great. We're 2-0 in the preseason. Optimistic vibes, and then non-Jets fans have to, shut us down. Oh, it's the preseason. You're going up against backup. Pump the brakes. What's going on? We still have the expectations going into this year of not making the playoffs. Just because we're getting excited about our rookie quarterback and we're excited about our new head coach doesn't mean we're clamoring we're going to win the AFC East or go 10-7 or anything. I still think that this Jets team is going to struggle this year and lose a lot of games, but we're going to be more competitive and build for the future. So that's what I can't take. Jets fans, don't listen to those guys. You're allowed to feel excited right now. You're allowed to feel, a sense of optimism because we are coming off an historical worst season of our lives, and we have a real head coach that we can look at in the face and say, I believe in you. We have a competent offensive coordinator who's definitely going to, have a lot of learning to do because he's a rookie of his own. But don't let anybody else, shut us up. It's not like we're saying we're going to the Super Bowl this year. It's not like we're saying we're going to win the AFC East this year. It's not like we're saying Zach Wilson is indeed going to be the MVP. That's not what we're saying. We're just a little excited that our rookies are looking good and we have a little, glimmer of hope for the future. So don't let all those naysayers get to you guys. Jets Nation, we're strong-minded. Let's hear it. What is Richie Jack's ideal trade package for a Carl Lawson replacement? Good question, Nick. So if we do trade for somebody that's going to replace Carl Lawson, the ideal package would be for somebody that is not a one-year rental, in my opinion. If we're going to sacrifice draft capital, because that's really what we're trading away, we're not going to trade a player on our roster, realistically, unless there is somebody that makes a lot of sense. I'd rather it be for somebody like that is going to be with the Jets for 2 or 3 years. I don't want to trade a third-round pick for 1 year of a pass rusher that could potentially be injured. I feel like that would be a mistake. There's definitely a lot of names you could think of. Dante Fowler Jr., Chandler Jones. There's a lot of guys out there. There's also going to be a lot of players that are going to get cut when it comes to the players. Teams cutting their roster down to 53 that the Jets are definitely going to be all over. We have the second waiver wire claim this year because of, we had the second overall pick. So that's how that works. So if, we could potentially get the best edge rusher available via cuts, and that there's a lot of teams out there. I'm pretty sure I saw a tweet today. I forgot who it was saying that the 49ers, I think it was Daniel Jeremiah. The 49ers are so loaded on the defensive line that they're going to try to trade some players because they're going to cut them because when they have to shrink their roster down to 53. And we have a connection with the 49ers. I'd be okay with trading, late round pick for one of those guys, or if they have to cut them, we bring them in. So Jack, what's your thoughts of the Jets pursuing somebody to replace Carl Lawson at the edge rusher position?
It's, obviously worst case scenario that we even have to talk about this. That's number one. We'd obviously all prefer Carl to be healthy and out there playing this year, but that's obviously not going to happen. So yeah, I think, exploring a trade is, the next best thing. Obviously, it goes to show you that, although this team, realistically, the organization knows, this team is not about to win the Lombardi Trophy this year. But at the same time, if you're going to go out there and you're going to invest a lot of money into a position that your team has desperately needed for over a decade now, is a true edge rusher, and that player goes down before he even sees the field, I like the fact that you double down, you enter the trade market, you see who's available, and who knows if it's even going to happen yet. But the fact that they're open to, and we have all the picks in the world to go out there and give up a couple draft picks and make a trade. The fact that possibility is on their mind and it's a consideration, I just like it because it shows you that, all right, we went out, we spent this money on this position that we desperately needed. The guy went down, we're not just going to take that L for this year. We're going to try it in. We're going to try and do everything in our power to replace the production that player would have given us. So who knows if the trade's going to happen, but I definitely think that it's a good look for the front office to at least make a couple phone calls for sure.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see who we bring in. I'm definitely expecting us to make a trade if Joe Douglas can find the right, partner, because obviously it takes two to tango via the trade market. So that's definitely going to be interesting to see. I do have confidence in the guys we have on roster, which is, John Franklin Meyer stepping up, Bryce Huff, Vinny Curry is going to come back eventually. I would like to see something from Jabari Zuniga. He's battling some injuries. Whenever he's on the field, he's not really making a big impact. I don't know what's going to happen with him, but he's someone that's going to get some burn this year because, they're going to be rotating guys in and out. And then this is going to be a big chance for the interior defensive line because we were relying on Carl Lawson to kind of, unlock Quinnen a little bit because they would focus so much on Lawson where Quinnen will be able to eat up the middle. You also just got to stay healthy, man. Sheldon Rankins is banged up with a knee injury. It's not serious at all. It's day to day. But if Sheldon Rankins and Quinnen Williams and Foley Fatukasi, if those three guys up front can stay healthy, I like the healthy rotation of those two because Quinnen is dominant at stopping the run. He can get to the quarterback very efficiently. Sheldon Rankins is an elite pass rusher for a defensive tackle. Foley Fatukasi is an elite run-stuffing defensive tackle up the middle. And then if we got, John Franklin Myers on the edge and Bryce Huff on the edge with, CJ, Jamian Sherwood, Hamza. I mean, listen, this is going to be a very interesting season for the Jets of ups and downs. We'll see what happens. Multiple 1,000 yards receivers. I don't think so. I think that's a little unrealistic. I don't expect that at all. If there was someone to get 1,000 yards, definitely Corey Davis, simply because he's going to be getting the most targets. I think he's going to he might get a lot of targets this year, guys. Just targets, meaning Zach throwing him the ball because he knows how to get open. He understands spatial awareness, and he's, the best player on the team in terms of the offense. So I don't really expect two. If we do get one, it's Corey Davis, but 2 1,000-yard receivers, that means Zach Wilson absolutely lit it up. That's what that means.
Which is welcome. We'll take that.
What are your thoughts of this question by Nick Chaplin?
Yeah, I certainly think Mims will see the field this year. I don't really understand the all the slander that Denzel Mims has been receiving lately. I mean, maybe you're talking injury concerns. Obviously, that's out of our control. But in terms of his skill set and him just, making, the rotation, the depth chart, and, just seeing the field playing time wise, certainly, man. I think that, Denzel Mims is a guy similar to Elijah Moore, where he went in the second round, easily could have went in the first round just because there was so much receiving talent in those particular drafts. So, Denzel Mims to me has, all the potential in the world. I see Elijah Moore and I see an elite, primarily slot receiver. And I look at Denzel Mims and I see an elite outside receiver. I mean, he's got the body type. I believe he's 6'3". He's very long in terms of his wingspan and his reach. He's got an incredible set of hands in terms of his ability to make contested catches. He's got leaping ability. He's got everything. He's got all the physical traits that you're looking for in an outside, one-on-one type of wide receiver. So I think that the sky's the limit for Denzel Mims, man. I'm still very high on him. I think that Corey Davis being here, obviously, might affect how much Denzel Mims is used. We'll see what the depth chart actually ends up shaking out to, because we got guys like Keelan Cole that are there as well. So we'll see where they end up, and obviously Jamison Crowder. Yeah, I think that, Denzel Mims still has all the potential in the world. And I think that, hopefully we'll get to see that this year.
Do you know who had a very good game quietly against the Packers on the first team? Connor McGovern. Connor McGovern, I saw some clips of him looking like a real center. And if you guys remember, Connor McGovern, the year before we signed him, was like a top 5 center in the league in protecting the quarterback. He had 0 penalties as a Denver Bronco that year. So Connor McGovern is not no scrub. He's a veteran. This is going to be his second time with the Jets, a new scheme, a scheme that fits him better. He's going to be next to Greg Van Roten again. He's going to be with Mekhi again. He's got a rookie. Continuity is a big factor. I think Connor McGovern is going to be a big X factor for this Jets if he can stay healthy and, secure that interior offensive line, because, a lot of things coming out of training camp that the O-line is struggling, especially at the Packers joint practice. And again, it's against the second team, so you got to, take that for sure. But it's definitely an intriguing sign to see Connor McGovern, dominating the second team. It's a good sign to see George Fant do that as well. George Fant got a lot of burn. He actually started at right tackle. Morgan Moses got the day off due to personal issues. And then when the second team offense came in, George Fant slid in at left tackle because he's a swing tackle. So George Fant can do both. That's a very versatile piece. Unfortunate injury news that we forgot to mention, Connor McDermott, who is our other backup swing tackle. He's going to be out for extended period of time. So, and then also Cameron Clark is out for extended period of time, and Alex Lewis has retired. So it's unfortunate that this offensive line is getting banged up. Luckily, it's just the backups outside of AVT. We look pretty healthy. And that's going to be a pivotal piece. If we can stay healthy up front, if Mekhi can stay healthy, Connor McGovern, Van Roten, and Morgan Moses and AVT, I got confidence in these guys over the course of the season to gel and get better each and every single game, every single week. This offensive line is going to get better because we have a rookie left guard who has missing all training camp, unfortunately. And to just briefly touch up on Denzel Mims real quick, Jack, it really sucks that he has another injury because he missed training camp last year with injuries, and he missed the beginning of the season. And training camp is such a huge part of development and preseason, especially. Denzel Mims looked so good against the Giants week 1, and he was not able to play against the Packers due to a slight, hip injury. It's not something that's going to sideline him for a long time, but the problem is he's missing crucial opportunities to get experience and, go out there and prove to the coaching staff that he needs to be out there with the starters come week 1. Now, quickly, let's talk about someone that we haven't really talked about before we end the stream, and that's someone named Robert Saleh. So, Jack, what's your thoughts of Robert Saleh? How does he look out there wearing the headset, repping the Jets, looking like our, head coach? Like, what's your thoughts? He's talking to the media every day. He is the guy that we are hopeful to, turn this organization around. So what's your first impressions of him being the Jets head coach so far?
He just looks like a guy who's been waiting for this opportunity for many years now, He looks like a guy who's confident, who's ready to go, who's ready to be the leader of an NFL franchise, and who's ready to, like you said, to be the guy talking to the media to have all the blame be on his shoulders and all the praise be on his shoulders. It's obviously a massive responsibility being a head coach in this league, but like I just mentioned, it looks like Saleh has been waiting for this opportunity for many years now. And I think that, he's in a great spot in New York, and with the staff that he's managed to bring with him, I think he's in an even better spot. And I think that after the monstrosity that was Adam Gase for the last 2 years, I think that even the incompetent Christopher and Woody Johnson realized that, all right, we finally got real football guys in the building: Joe Douglas, Robert Saleh, Jeff Ulbrich, LaFleur, Let's let these guys do what they do. Let's take a back seat. It kind of just feels like we're on the path towards doing things the right way. And, the effect that Robert Saleh has already had on this organization, I think is clear, man. I think that these young players, well, the players in general, but especially these young players, these guys that were just drafted, are super excited to play for a guy like Saleh. And I think it's cool for the guys that are just, this being their rookie season. I think it's cool for them that this is, Saleh's first year as a head coach as well. I think it's kind of cool that Zach Wilson being a rookie quarterback, he has a rookie head coach. It's kind of two guys looking out for one another, keeping each other in check, just making sure that they're operating at the highest level that they could operate on. So I think that Robert Saleh being here, I don't think we could have asked for a better hire, man. I think the fact that he was able to bring LaFleur with him and he was able to get Jeff Ulbrich here, and just a bunch of other guys we have in this coaching staff. I mean, Greg Knapp, obviously that was a horrible, horrible loss. Rest in peace to Coach Knapp. That was another guy that Saleh managed to bring here. Just all these impressive names that have been around the league for a long time. I mean, LaFleur comes from, one of the most, storied coaching backgrounds in the NFL today. I mean, nobody can stop talking about the Shanahan system, the Shanahan system, the Shanahan system. It's like all you freaking hear about in the NFL. So, I just think we're in a great spot with the staff we have here. Obviously, Robert Saleh being the most important integral piece of that staff. But I think these young guys want to play for him. The veterans respect him and want to play for him. I just think he brings that energy and that true, all gas, no brake mentality, man. I think that, the all gas, no brake mentality has been the mentality that's gotten him to the successful position that he's in today. I mean, it brought him from working a job in finance to, following his dream and his passion in life, which was football. And clearly his mindset has brought him from a finance worker to an assistant coach to a coordinator to now he's finally a head coach of an NFL team, one of only 32 guys in the world that can say that. So clearly Saleh has the work ethic that's there, and I'm just excited to see the Saleh effect continue to impact this organization.
The Saleh effect is real. I absolutely love I don't know if you saw his post-game speech that they posted, but at the end of it, he's like, all gas, and the whole team's no break. That's so sick. I love that. This is an interesting question. Can Croft have 700 plus yards as our tight end number one? I don't know. I'm not going to say he can do that. That's a lot of yards for a tight end. He definitely looked impressive Saturday, catching 2 touchdowns, making a guy miss. Tyler Croft was a very solid pass catching back in his career with the Bengals and the Bills. He's definitely no scrub. He's a big man that can go up there, take a hit. I think he's going to be a red zone target. And we know that the tight ends are a crucial part of the offense that we're implementing here. So that's my thoughts of that. We're going to wrap up the stream here, guys. We appreciate everybody that's been tuning in. This is a pretty long one, hour and a half, just under that. Shout out to everybody in the chat for, giving us all your, thoughts, everything that you thought about the Jets preseason, whether it's about Zach Wilson, whether it's about the whatever. We appreciate all the support here on Jets Media. It means so much. Stay tuned for more Jets content. Jack, anything you'd like to say before we end this one?
It's a pleasure chatting with you today, my boy. And thank you as always for making it happen. And thank you to all you guys hanging out with us in the chat. And we are only a couple short weeks away from real Jets football. So let's get it, man. Best time of the year. Couldn't be any more excited. We got a lot of fantasy drafts coming up, and we are just heading towards a really fun time as a football fan. So, man, couldn't be more excited. Couldn't be happier to be on the journey with you, Richie, and with all you guys that support Jets Media, whether you're on YouTube or Twitter or wherever you come from. We appreciate every single one of you guys. Thank you for making it happen, Rich, and we will be back here next Monday, same place, same time, talking Jets, baby. So thank you.
Yes, sir. And I'll be live Friday night giving you guys my play-by-play reaction again and more content throughout this week covering the Jets and Phillies, the Philadelphia practices. So stay tuned for that. We appreciate you guys. Let's go Jets. All gas.